The world wasn't built for you, not for what you actually are. And somewhere between your third notification of the morning and your 14th browser tab, you probably felt it. That weird, quiet feeling that something about modern life feels deeply wrong. Not dramatically wrong, not apocalypse wrong, just wrong in a way your brain can't fully explain. Because your brain is trying to do something impossible. It's trying to run ancient survival software inside a world that updates every 6 minutes. And honestly, it's losing. For almost all of human history, the brain had a pretty simple job. Find food, avoid danger, stay connected to the tribe, try not to die. That was it. No emails, no group chats, no doom scrolling, no watching a stranger become a millionaire before breakfast. The brain evolved in small environments, slow environments, quiet environments. Now, your brain wakes up and immediately gets hit with world news, work messages. Your brain wakes up and immediately gets hit with world news, work messages, algorithmic entertainment, political outrage, 37 opinions, 6 ads, someone else's vacation photos, a video titled How to Fix Your Entire Life Before 25, and it's only 8:14 a.m. The crazy part is, your brain thinks all of this might matter. That's the problem. Because the brain was designed to notice patterns. That ability kept humans alive. Hear rustling in the bushes? Could be danger. Feel rejected by the tribe? Could be danger. See someone with more resources than you? Potential danger. Back then, this was genius. Now that same system is trapped inside infinite scrolling. So the brain keeps scanning, keeps comparing, keeps preparing for threats that never actually arrive. And eventually, it starts creating them. You've experienced this. You're sitting alone, nothing bad is happening. The room is quiet. Remember that embarrassing thing from 4 years ago? And suddenly your brain goes, remember that embarrassing thing from 4 years ago? Or what if everyone secretly hates you? Or what if your entire future collapses because of one awkward email? The brain can turn absolute silence into psychological horror. Not because you're weak, because your survival system has nowhere to place all this unused energy. It's like a smoke alarm going off because somebody made toast. The human brain is honestly incredible. It can create music, language, memories, art, science, entire civilizations. But modern life discovered something terrifying. If you understand the brain's reward system, you can hijack it. And that's exactly what happened. Apps figured out something before most humans did. The brain loves unpredictable rewards. That's why slot machines work. Sometimes you win. And social media basically turned your phone into a psychological casino. Every swipe might contain validation, entertainment, outrage. Sometimes you don't. The uncertainty keeps the brain hooked. And social media basically turned your phone into a psychological casino. Every swipe might contain validation, entertainment, outrage, novelty, social approval, dopamine, or nothing, which somehow makes you swipe harder. The brain reaches for stimulation, gets temporary relief, feels empty again, reaches again. The loop never fully closes. And after enough repetition, the brain starts struggling with normal life. Slow movies feel painful. Silence feels uncomfortable. Weeding feels exhausting. Being alone with your thoughts feels illegal. And then people blame themselves. I think my attention span is broken. No, your attention span is being hunted for profit. That's different. Modern life treats human attention like oil. Extract it, sell it, drain it, repeat. My nervous system is collapsing. You just feel tired, distracted, restless, emotionally flat, unable to enjoy anything deeply. And the scary part? Most people don't even notice it happening because overstimulation doesn't feel dangerous. It feels normal. That's why this whole thing is so weird. Nobody wakes up thinking, wow, My nervous system is collapsing. You just feel tired, distracted, restless, emotionally flat, unable to enjoy anything deeply. And eventually you start thinking, maybe this is just adulthood. But the brain knows something is wrong. You can feel it in tiny moments, like when you instinctively reach for your phone after 5 seconds of silence, or when a 10-minute YouTube video feels too long, while somehow spending 4 straight hours scrolling feels effortless. That's not laziness. That's environmental conditioning. The brain adapts to whatever environment repeatedly surrounds it. And modern environments are insane. Completely insane. Searching for social belonging? That worked beautifully for thousands of years. The human nervous system was not designed for this level of input. Not even close. And honestly, the brain is trying really hard. That's the sad part. People talk about the brain like it's defective. But from the brain's perspective, it's doing exactly what it was built to do. It's reacting to stimulation, seeking reward, avoiding discomfort, scanning for threats, searching for social belonging. That worked beautifully for thousands of years. Modern life just learned how to exploit those instincts at industrial scale. So what actually helps? Not becoming a productivity robot. Not waking up at 4 a.m. to meditate inside an ice bath while listening to a podcast called Destroy Weakness Forever. Honestly, the brain responds better to gentleness than violence. That's the part nobody wants to hear. The brain changes fastest through environment, not shame. Tiny things matter more than people realize. But silence is where the nervous system recalibrates. Silence is where thoughts settle. Silence is where creativity comes from. Putting your phone in another room at night, going outside before opening apps, having moments where nothing is trying to sell you something, eating food that came from Earth instead of a laboratory built by raccoons. Even boredom matters, especially boredom, because boredom is where the brain finally starts hearing itself again. Modern life trains humans to fear silence, but silence is where the nervous system recalibrates. Silence is where thoughts settle. Silence is where creativity comes from. And most importantly, silence is where the brain stops performing. For a few minutes, it gets to simply exist. That matters more than people think. And then there's connection, real connection. The brain did not evolve to stare at strangers through glass rectangles all day. It evolved around eye contact, voices, laughter, shared experiences, feeling understood. Likes are not the same as belonging. That changes everything. Followers are not the same as friendship. The brain knows the difference, even if the internet pretends otherwise. And honestly, maybe that's why modern life feels so emotionally strange. Humans became hyper-connected, while somehow feeling more alone. So if your brain feels overwhelmed lately, if everything feels louder, if focusing feels harder, if life feels weirdly exhausting, maybe you're not failing. Maybe your brain is reacting normally to an abnormal environment. That changes everything. Because once you stop seeing yourself as broken, you stop fighting yourself. And the brain was never supposed to be your enemy. It's just tired. Tired of noise. Tired of stimulation. Tired of performing. Tired of surviving inside systems it doesn't fully understand. But despite all of this, it still keeps trying, which is honestly kind of amazing.